Which shrubs?
Well, I see you growing your yard a little bit, put a nice carport in the back and.
That was from Mama's camp trailer.
I thought that was for elk camp.
Where's this at?
It's right down, and you've got all the elk antlers and stuff. Oh.
Antlers?
Right, sheds, antlers, trophies. Yeah, so he's got everything outside, and he's got, him and his boy got the excavation.
You shut that down.
Oh,
Yeah.
my. That's the first thing when you.
You asked for it years ago. Yeah. Right.
Pardon?
I haven't did it yet.
I'm in town now.
In hearing now?
Yes, sir.
Where at?
Mike, will you guys make sure your mics are on? You push
Okay.
those
Yeah,
buttons.
green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I should.
Is it on?
Yeah, you're good. As long as it's green.
I just showed Austin over here.
Yes, and it's, the old.
Right there.
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't know anybody moved in there yet.
There's 3 of us that are in.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we got it all moved in on the weekend.
The last long weekend.
The last long weekend we had.
I was in Ocean Shores, is that long weekend?
Yeah.
I hear we got a 4-day weekend this weekend.
We are good?
Yep.
Yes, we are good to start.
Okay, Jamie?
I'm here. Are we ready? Do we want to start? I don't know if somebody else is coming or not.
I have Emily on my phone. She can't get to a Zoom thing. She's on my speaker. Say hi, Emily.
Hey, I'm here.
All right. Well, it's 6:02. Let's call this meeting to order then. We need to approve the minutes from the May 10th meeting.
Move to approve.
Second. All right. All in favor? Aye. Secretary's report.
Okay, I have quite a bit.
Oh, Shelley,
Oh,
do you want to introduce yourself to
Oh, yeah.
Jamie?
hold on.
Jamie's never met you before yet, so.
I'm Shelley.
Hi, Shelley. Nice to meet you.
Okay, Park Kitchen is all booked for every weekend for the month of June. We have Picker Fest this coming Thursday, June 16th through Saturday, June 18th. We have 6 campsites all booked up for that event. I'm sure we'll have more throughout the weekend, hopefully. We still have no park host, but we've had 2 people come in for applications, which one of them are here tonight. The park has had a bunch of vandalism happening in the bathrooms and the showers. So we had to close them up, but we opened them up for kitchen rentals. And we tried putting up signs to like avoid the vandalism, but that didn't work at all. Mike Fisher, Mayor, and Devin met with Toledo about getting cameras set up, and that was on June 8th. I can let you guys know in the next meeting what the outcome is. That playground safety checks was completed on May 24th, which they're on our packets. Park survey, we had 14 more entries from the big town meeting that we had. I have the results and we can go over them in this meeting. Texas 4000 on June 8th, I confirmed over the phone with Emma that they will not be staying with us. We won't be hosting. They'll be in Longview. June 7th, Vision of Toledo voted to give City of Toledo up to $2,000 for park improvements. That will be going to gravel the main road and a gate for the RV gate exit. I believe that was what it was. going for. We are supposed to submit the receipts to Mike Morgan for reimbursement. And last but not least, Mayor Steve is working with Toledo Lions Club on getting documentation on donation for park cameras. So with that, let you know. And then I have letters from Mike Morgan for the donation coming through the division, and Michael, Michael on June 13th, he sent an email for approval of $7,000 for gravel for the Park Road out of the pass-through funds. So if you guys want to take a look at that, I printed it off. So
Who is that? Mike who?
Michael,
Lewis County.
yeah, I sent that over, and it's part of the pass-through funds. But I just want to let you guys know that. So I'm all up to date.
We did the inspection of the playground. I see it signed, but I don't,
John.
I can't tell who signed it. John that works with it.
Yeah. Yep. And then I have colored photos if you guys wanted to see it. It kind of didn't come out on the black and white, so if you guys wanted to see the color, I can show you.
All right. Thank you, Shelley. Let's move on to new business. Park survey results.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions on that? On the results that I put in your guys' packets? There's quite a few comments. The ones that have like numbers beside them, that was like 3 additional people have asked for the same thing for the survey comments.
One thing I'm curious here, on this 3rd page of the survey, right at the top, it says in the past 12 months about how many people, blah, 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 comments. Because of COVID, I did not actually use any. Who's I? Is that you?
No, I just write what it was said on there.
It's whoever submitted the survey,
Okay.
and nobody put names on them. They're all anonymous.
Okay,
So
so I is
yeah,
on the going back to the minutes there, there was use of I in there. Is that you? I should have said that before I approved.
Which part? Sorry.
Under secretary's report, down the 3rd, 4th paragraph, it says, I am looking
Yes.
into.
I can make that a change to say
Yes.
Shelley.
Yes, because
Yes.
in the future, nobody's gonna know, well, who's that?
Okay. Sorry about that.
And also, I think that just for clarity for the future, and for the minutes and all that, is that don't use acronyms without saying what they are, like AWC and RMSA. You're in the business, you know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
What's AWC? What's that?
Association of Washington Cities.
Yes.
It's our insurance company.
Okay, and the RMSA?
Risk Management Service.
Association.
Yeah, it's the part of our risk management of our insurance company.
I think you should spell those out, at least the first time you use them, if you're gonna use them, so that,
Okay.
you know, we know what you're talking about.
Okay, I will make those.
Yeah, just, it's my,
After those changes, do you guys approve, or do you want to look at them next meeting?
no, it looks good. What I'm wondering, I don't know if you're.
It was fine. I was kind of questioning the same thing of what they've had, but I was,
Yeah.
okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, you guys are in the business, you know what all those acronyms mean. So what are we gonna do with this park survey? We got a bunch
What
of-
did you guys do in the past?
They didn't. It was old. It was different. They should be used to think of what you want to put in your park plan, the park plan that you're updating. this is what your community is looking for. So when you're looking to add new projects to like the old wastewater ponds that are being filled, when they're ready, what can we do down there? You can come back to your survey and, look, our community wanted a dog park, or they want a skate park, or whatever, And so these things should be added into the park plan that you're in the process of updating.
All right, well, we'll get to the park plan updates a little bit later with old business. The park survey results look good. Do we want to move on to playground safety check then?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah, it looks good to me too. So, okay. Park bathroom and shower vandalism. What's been going on with that, Shelley?
They have noticed that was certain times of the day, like after school time, there was some vandalism. Sometimes it's at night. I know the police officers have decided to move it to the evening time to see if they can see who's going on. They've asked, I believe, the surrounding residents to call if they see anything. We tried closing it down, but we can't close it completely because we're in the high seasons of the park use. So that can't be a permanent option of closing the bathrooms down. We tried putting up signs saying "Smile, you're on camera," hoping that would fade it out, but it did not. I think the next couple of days they were vandalized again with graffiti, and they broke down one of the dividers in the women's bathroom, the soap dispensers.
Just good, clean fun. Yeah.
So,
Kitchen sink,
the kitchen sink.
all that apparatus on the kitchen sink is wiped out.
In the
Vandalism.
day kitchen.
Yeah.
So, I know that Mayor Devin and Mike Fisher have met with Toledo Hotel to see if we can get better cameras in there set up. I know that they talked about the lights, like a sensor light that would shine bright. A motion light.
They're set up, by the way.
Oh, they're good and set up. So
When is the bathrooms, is it during daylight hours, or you think it's after like 6, 5, or you don't have no idea?
The last time it happened, Mike, I had to call Mike Fisher back in at 6:00 p.m.
So it's
Regular daylight hours.
Yeah.
And they busted all the pipes, they busted everything she said in the women's.
So is it being locked after dark?
It's being locked when we leave work today. Every day unless we have campers in there.
Okay.
If we have campers in there, we leave them open and keep our fingers crossed that there's no vandals, because we check on every morning.
So it's probably pretty obvious that the campers aren't gonna. bust
Is
up the rest.
it a way that maybe just for night use only and weekends? Because I know our guys don't work during the weekends, but is there a way that we could?
But Mike, they do come in and do their daily reports on the water on the weekends.
Right.
So I've had them check the bathrooms.
Well, what I was thinking is, 5 days a week, we could open those up when they come to work, and when they leave at night, we lock them. What would be the chance of getting like a code lock that you could put on those? And if somebody does rent the kitchen, or you come and say you're renting an RV park, a spot, to give them the code, and then that way they can still use the restrooms 24/7 if they're camped there. And then I'm sure if somebody's going to pay money to camp there, they're not going to give some hoodlum the code to the door. But I just think that's at least 12 hours a day that we don't have to worry about somebody going in the restrooms. And it would be a fairly reasonable, I don't know how much those combination door locks are, but it's not thousands and thousands of dollars.
They're expensive.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be anywhere near replacing all of the sinks and.
Well, that's why, that's what we're trying to do. They want to put up 5 cameras down there. And wire feed them in here and a PD and they have an app on their PD phone that alerts them where they can look and see who's down there, blah, 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 blah. But, I don't know, I haven't talked to them lately, but it's probably shipping, waiting for the cameras, but they only.
But if I was a hoodlum, my camera would stop me. A locked door in the evening. I'm not saying it's happening at night, but that would just be one less chance of somebody doing something. And then if we was to get a park host, they could unlock them 7 days a week until dark. And then they go over and they lock them. And then in the
code, yeah.
And then in the AM, they can unlock them again. Here's your code. I think it might save us, it might cost a couple bucks for locks, but I think in the long run, it would save us. I mean, we can do key locks, but who's gonna turn their key back in when they leave? Just something to think about.
I think the commercial locks for the bathrooms, when we replaced them at the boat launch recently, were $600 a piece. Is that right, Jill? Does that ring a bell to anybody else?
Those were a different type. They automatically locked. They're not a key code.
Okay.
Yeah, they were a different type. So it's something though that could be looked into for cost and everything, definitely.
I know the last time I was in a hotel, they gave me like a credit card, and you went in and you hold it against her slide or whatever. And I wonder if that'd be cheaper than.
Oh, they're all different types.
Yeah. That's something, that's a good idea. That's looking into some kind of a locking system for all.
Well,
three of those
you wouldn't want to
doors.
have it locked up 24/7, but especially in the daytime, you have people using the park for daytime use. You want the restrooms to be open, especially with the playground being right there. But I think that we really do need to have them locked at night just to keep the honest people honest.
Are there posted hours at the park?
It says, I think it says like dawn to dusk or something like that down there.
Okay. Because it would be reasonable to have the bathrooms locked during that time. All right, doesn't sound like we have anything else to suggest for now. Should we move on to reviewing the personal service agreement?
That's the park host, right?
Yes.
Only one thing I noticed right at the top was this day of 2021.
Oh, yeah. It will. Can I talk about it for a second?
Sure.
Okay, so the whole idea of going through and updating is, we've been advertising for Park Host for quite a while. The list is huge on what's on here. We've had, the council has made comments of trying to condense it down a little bit and maybe help us with the different, getting a park host. So I think it's come back to us now to look at it and what's really important. What are you wanting right now? What is the most important that we need help with? Your bathroom and your kitchen at the park. There's a lot of other stuff on here. And if maybe eventually things, could work into something else more, that's great. But, there's a lot of stuff on there. So
Question the park host. I know there's been talk, not a lot of talk that I've heard. Are we talking about 365? Or are we talking just when the park is open, April through October or whatever the park's open? Or are we talking about having a full-time host?
I think this one is set up for a full-time on a yearly basis. I believe how this is set up.
That was the goal. That was what we had before. I mean, honestly, we can dump everything off of it that isn't the Kemp Olson stuff. There was just when we made these changes, the discussion was that City Hall was hoping that they could get some help doing the other projects, just making sure that somebody at least keeps an eye on it periodically. And that if we had a person around, having them just take a walk around town once a month wasn't a huge ask. It isn't like we're asking them to do any maintenance on it or anything, any of the work, just take a look around and look at it. But if we're having trouble getting people because that feels overwhelming, then okay, take it off.
Well, it's actually more than, I mean, it's like, it is doing, cleaning the restrooms at the boat launch twice a day. It's the trash pickup through town. Basically, there, I mean, there's like the
Okay.
downtown parks has.
Before we start chopping this thing up, we've got, I think, at least one people, I don't know, maybe you two are here to think about being a park host. Is that your thoughts?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What do you think of it? Have you read the?
I've had an opportunity, I've had an opportunity to overlook, to look at the document itself. And there are a few changes that could be made. I see most of them are done monthly, because it says monthly check sheet on it. And so that would lead you to believe that it would be monthly and not daily. And I would imagine that there would actually be a daily check sheet that would be created if it doesn't already exist. That could actually be a walkthrough. And I'll use just an example. First of all, ma'am, I'm sorry. My name is Tim Kinder. And my wife and I.
If you, I'm sorry, if you step up over, they could.
Sorry about that.
I wasn't really prepared. Hi. My name is Tim Kinder. I'm here with my wife Bruce. We're interested in being camp hosts. And I'll go sit down if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
And we'll finish talking. Follow up, because we had an opportunity to look it over and we were discussing it. And yeah, you would have a monthly, according to the check sheet, it's a monthly check sheet that would be a little bit more, I think you used a yes, no check boxes on if they're in good working order or not in good working order. But I'd also assume that, and assumptions sometimes are not right, but there would be a daily sheet that would be walk arounds. That would be your walk around stuff that you would do. Now, as far as the rest of the city things that go on, I'm not really familiar with the picking up the trash at other parks. I was more focused on the Memorial Park in which we would be staying at. So I'm a little, not a miss, but I would be speaking of.
But for daily, to me, it was when I looked at, for me, when I looked at the list, I said, that's just normal stuff.
Yeah, you can walk through it.
You could
check
go on.
bathrooms.
But I can see why some of it looked overwhelming. As a part host, you would think you would clean that bathroom daily. I didn't know about the launch and all that stuff. I went, what?
I feel that if we have a park host, our park host is for the park. I don't feel that the park host has to go point A, you know, I mean, they have a life too. If they're maintaining the bathrooms, the kitchens, you know, helping out the campers, you know, the rental of that, the garbage in that park, that's what I would expect.
I agree.
I don't expect them to go to the boat launch and clean that. I mean, that's, no, I totally would understand why nobody would want to do this park host if you're having them do all that stuff.
I will add though, that is a beautiful park.
To me, it's not fair.
Yeah, it's a beautiful park. And so I think that, and that's why my wife and I both applied, because we would be able to tag team that. The fact is that we both done it.
And what do you guys think about year round?
We don't have a problem year round. The fact is that we have a fairly good sized fifth wheel that we can stay in. So we don't have a problem here.
Yeah.
So are we going to vote or have, for like taking off boat launch, the monument, the jail garden, and the steamboat alley?
Yes, I would say that we need to, I vote that we pull those.
Make a motion.
Oh,
I make a motion to pull those 4 items. What are the 4 items?
What are the 4 again?
the 4 are boat launch, the monument, the jail garden, and the Steamboat Alley.
And the list would be like under K, under, in the actual agreement, it'd be second. Be your second page, letter K, the downtown parks.
Right.
That's the probably the bigger of it, yeah.
The downtown. Remove downtown.
And then on the monthly checklist, you could remove those two.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir. Is the memorial on park grounds themselves, or is that separate?
It is on the park, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought that was all part of the park. Okay.
That would be on, that's actually listed as letter D on the
Yeah, that's at the
agreement.
entrance, right?
Yeah, that would still be
I
there.
thought that was part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll second it, second Mike's motion. That I guess what we're talking about is letter K there, it's just.
All right, we have a second discussion.
Yeah, the downtown parks, I don't feel that they need to do the downtown parks.
And if
Anything, they need to keep an eye and maintain anything down at the big park. Yeah, that's the water.
No, the question I would have is that since those were on the list, if we take them off, who's gonna maintain it? How's that gonna be maintained? How's that-
Well, who's doing it now? I mean, the city's doing it.
That's right.
For the most
But
part,
kind of
I
nobody
think
is the answer. Kind of nobody's doing it now.
I'm not part of the city, but I do make a point on my exercise routines of picking up through that park and through the steam alley over here. I do what I can. There's not a great demand for it. I'm not part of the city. I don't have a dog in the fight. I just do it because I'm injured.
Yeah.
But there's not a big call for it, folks. I only pick up a couple of pieces of garbage, even in this park over here, a couple of times a week. There's not a great demand. Thank you.
But yeah, as far as picking up the garbage cans and that kind of stuff, I mean, that's kind of, I mean, you would think the city,
Well, of course,
the park,
that's where I put all the garbage I pick up is in the can.
pick it up once a week. Don't they empty their garbage cans once a week around town?
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for doing that. That's wonderful.
Question?
Do we want to take this to vote? Do we have any further discussion?
I don't have any further.
Okay, so the motion was to remove all of the parts. I guess K through, whatever the motion was, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Question, does this have to go through city council or anything?
It will, yes.
It will, yeah.
All
They're
right,
expecting it though, so.
What's that?
They're expecting it, so.
all right, old business. Kitchen replacement plan. Where are we with that?
I believe, I have paper that from Jill, from you guys. I don't know how far ago.
It's been like 4 months ago.
Okay, your guys' needs and wants for the kitchen? Jill,
It was supposed to, Mike was going to be taking it to the Lions Club to get their input, and that's the last that's been done. I don't know if
What
that
they
ever
want,
happened.
yeah.
Yeah, what they would like, you know.
Yeah, I did
So.
that. It was like, you know, it was nothing significant. I've got it somewhere at home. I forgot to bring it. Didn't seem like it was any big deal. They just want to have the kitchen, a functional kitchen. Place to meet, like it's always been. But as far as.
Did they say anything about, like, we talked about putting a storage room on, that would be a locked storage room on one end of it?
Yeah, well, one of the things, was the talk about, and Steve, you were there, the talk of making that the sink, the kitchenish sort of stuff, a little more, I don't know, formal, I guess, instead of just like an old sink with a faucet, but make it nice. And maybe that would have to be locked in some way or something.
Well, yeah, it's kind of hard to make a kitchen
Yeah.
that is nice and clean and stuff when it's out in the open and all the rain elements and all that stuff. I mean, right now you got pretty much a camp kitchen. That's when somebody's gonna rent that kitchen, they're gonna expect we're gonna have,
They just want water.
they're just gonna have water and a counter, and they're gonna expect to take a blower and blow the leaves off, but you know, I mean, they're not expecting to go into a restaurant and have a restaurant kitchen out there. The only way to do even hot water setup in there, I mean,
Well, there was a discussion at the Lions Club about, well, do we really need to build it? Could that be fixed up enough to make it solid? And so that gets to an inspection by the engineering outfit to say, yeah, if you do this and this and this, then
the engineer that come down already said that the foundation of that building was gonna pass, so.
yeah, but
Building's built off of its foundation. so.
as it is now, but there's all kinds of, what somebody was saying about that thing they squirt under to raise the corner. You know.
I mean, I don't know if the concrete's broke, I did put up there.
Yeah, it's got a lot of cracks in it, but the thought is that maybe it could be repaired. And, you know, if you only had to put in, say, 50,000 into it, instead of 150,000 for a new building, could it still last for another 50 years?
Yeah, but will it if the foundation is janky?
Well, if you could fix the foundation.
Well, are you throwing $50,000 after $100,000 problem?
I don't know.
I don't know.
As far as the engineering report, it says, I kind of think so. Yeah, it looks like we could get away with it for a couple of years with some support, but that ultimately, yeah, it's not built properly for the flooding issues that land has, and it needs to be rebuilt. From what I've seen of the report anyway.
Well, if you rebuild it now, you got another 100 years. How old's that building now?
It's at 53.
Now you rebuild it, you got another 53 years. You don't have to worry about it.
In 53, so it's 70.
Yeah.
How old am I?
It was built in 53.
53. I was born in 53.
Yeah.
How old am I? 69 in July.
Yeah, that'll be 70 years next year.
Yeah.
Geez. It'll be 70 again. Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's had a really good life. Like it's been a great building.
I think if we can get the funds, and we need to, I mean, if there's something in that building that you really want to save, maybe we can build it into the new one.
Yeah, like the fireplace.
You know, you could take old and put to the new, but I think if we can get the funding and stuff, we need to just bite the bullet and put in a new pad and concrete and build from there. And if you want to make a log structure like that is now, that's an option. We can do a stick built. I mean, for the park, I kind of don't want to see a stick built building. I would rather see peeled logs and stain, and then basically have one part of it that actually is enclosed, so you can put whatever you want to do. I was thinking maybe if we could build the building and put a lean-to off on one side, it would be a great place to store our picnic tables in the winter, and then we'd still have the kitchen functionable if somebody wanted to use it through the winter hours.
Yeah, that's a great
Right
idea.
now, we're storing the picnic tables inside the kitchen, correct?
That's a pain.
If we had just an open, it would be a great place, you know, I mean, there's been weddings down there. If you had another lean-to, that's another 30, 40 people with some more picnic tables. I just think it'd be a great feature besides the kitchen.
They're also talking Lions Club extending it over the barbecue pit also. to incorporate it with the building itself, and that could be just a roof out there.
That
with
lean
multiple
to.
walls. That could be real simple. And there's other people that are interested in not tearing it down and to put money into remodeling it. She's gonna put a bunch of money into it, is what I'm hearing. So that's gonna be just like almost a new building if she does what she says she's gonna do.
Who's she?
Paula Burles,
Oh,
real estate lady.
and she,
I've talked to Dan, the barbecue guy,
Okay,
And he's-
more about this.
and he said the same thing, that she wants to save that building for a historical thing. And there is grants out there too for historical buildings. That's gotta be there. It's like I said, 69 years old. That's gotta be more historical than anything I know. Possibly get some grants to help out with that portion.
Look, if we can get grants to rehab it, that would be amazing. It does have stories, but if we can't, then
yeah, right. Yeah, those are the two options, basically, is tear it down, build a new one, or try to restore the, old. You know.
either
when they
way, we're
built
gonna
that
need
thing-
money. Is someone looking into grants?
Not at this time, because you
Who's
kind of have to have a plan of what you want to look into a grant. So.
I think that we should get a park host that's a carpenter. Are you a carpenter?
You know that. I'm over.
I would like, Mike, next time you have a Lions Club, we can sit down, bring your paper back, say this is what they want. I mean, just because one person in the community wants to restore something.
Right.
I realize that, but then you're gonna have to get an engineer, pay an engineer to figure out how you're gonna fix it. You're gonna have to hire a carpenter to do it. You know, I mean, there's a lot of different things. So if that's the thing, then she wants to do it, maybe we should jump on that and say, okay, then you're gonna have the expense.
She's already had a building inspector inspect it, like.
Okay.
Tell us
of
more.
her own.
Yeah, tell us
Just
more
go
about.
by what Dan said. Dan told me all this stuff and I never got back to.
Right, well, have her bring that stuff and let's figure it out, you know, I mean, but like I said, we still need a place.
You need a foundation.
We need a foundation, but I would still, if you're gonna remodel that, I would love to have a lean-to put your picnic tables. I mean,
That's a must.
a picnic table, just I mean, I paid to have one made and it was $450. So how many of those we got out there?
Yeah.
30, 40?
And the guys I got putting them back in the kitchen are getting older
Right.
and their backs are gonna start going out and it's just a hassle to
I-
put those tables in there. Cause we gotta stand them up
Yeah.
and put them all in there.
So.
And if we have a lean-to,
Maybe Mike, you get something from the Lions Club, see what they want to do. Maybe we can get Burrows to say what they want to do and we'll look at it, go from there.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can decide tonight what we want to do.
not really.
All right. Well, let's move on to park plan updates, chapter 3 then.
Jamie, we did get the electrical all fixed. That was grant money of $3,500.
You did get the what fixed?
The electrical at the restrooms.
Oh,
a new-
excellent.
Like a new electrical box, new wiring, and the wiring would be adaptable, anything that they come up with to fix or remodel, it was all be adaptable to that. And
Okay.
we got new lights, motion lights set up. We are doing some improvements to help.
Jill,
Okay, so you guys have, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back to the park plan update. So chapter 3 is the inventory of what's currently in the park plan. Again, we're updating this park plan to get grants. A lot of places that you get grants from, you have to have your park plan updated every 6 years. And so this is our time to do it. And so chapter 3 is our inventory. Some of it is city-owned parks. The first 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. 5 pages are city owned, and then the other ones will be places around Toledo, and they will include, you know, like the Gospel Eagle, that's not on city property, but it's in the park plan, you have to show other places that are available for people and to view, to go, you know, so you will have South County Park, you'll have the boat launches, all of the boat launches on there, even though we don't maintain them, we have nothing to do with them, but it's an opportunity for recreation for our community, so we have to show that.
We need Steamboat
Yeah,
Alley in there.
Trying to
It isn't
figure out
in there.
why all that stuff has nothing to do with
Yes,
the city.
yeah. So it's those ones, you know, like the senior center, you know, whatever those smaller things are, we just, what it is, what they, you know, provide. But our main part is our parks, and that's why they come first. And then in the next chapter, you'll see an inventory that will have like cost for projects and stuff, and that's where we'll go off of, you know, for improvements and stuff. We'll focus more on the next section of our parks, but this is just a inventory of facilities in and around Toledo. So if there's things
Steamboat
that,
Alley needs to be on there,
yes,
and I didn't see on here yeah, we also don't have on here the monument that's at the corner coming into town from the highway by the church, that little island that has the sign fence.
yes, it is on here.
It is on there?
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail Monument.
Oregon
Oh.
Trail Monument.
Thank
That's it.
you, Oregon Trail. That was what I was blanking on.
There's
There
just
it
not
is.
a current picture on it. We could add a current picture.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was one of the, yeah, it just doesn't have a picture. Okay. That's fine. So that's that. That's all I've got for that then. Anybody else have anything?
Yeah, on the second page or third page, I guess, Toledo Boat Launch. Now, does that includes the parking lot, correct? Like,
Parking lot is a city-owned parking lot.
yeah, is that part of the boat launch thing?
Yes.
Yeah, they park there for lots of boats.
It's part of the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have to be.
Well,
What's your question, Mike?
well, this is pretty minor, but I've always had trouble or issue with calling it the Toledo Boat Launch because it's more than just a boat launch. I think it should be called the Toledo Waterfront and Boat Launch.
Haven't we been calling it Waterfront Park and stuff? Isn't that a change that we did before the big community meeting? I guess 2019 is when we talked about that.
Yeah, we were using the term waterfront rather than just the river.
Yeah, to include the gazebo and the boat launch and the talk of the more of the park area that's there that we haven't, I guess that's on the other side of the bridge.
Jill?
Okay, so the property on the other side of the bridge, Jamie, where the old Toledo sign was, the city no longer has access to that. We gave that lease up. The only lease,
Okay.
yeah, the only lease we have with DOT is where the gazebo sits now.
Okay.
That is actually DOT property as well. And so we keep that lease because our stuff's on it. But the Toledo boat launch name, when we built it, we put out a survey to the community, and that's what they came up with. If it's something that you would like to petition the council to change, then that's something that, I mean, or recommend.
They wanted it called the Toledo Boat Launch.
The community did. We sent a survey out for the community to help us name the boat launch. And that was what happened to have the most votes, was the Toledo Boat Launch. That's how it got its
No,
name. There's no
I think-
special meaning to it at all, so.
I think that's still fine for the boat launch to be Toledo Boat Launch, but the Toledo Boat Launch and the gazebo and the bathrooms are part of Waterfront Park, right?
there is no such thing as a waterfront park. There's nothing's ever been designated as that by council. That whole
Okay.
area was designated as a Toledo boat launch.
Oh, okay, you include the gazebo as part of the boat launch name. Okay.
It was all at the same, like, everything was done at the same time there. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. I thought the gazebo came significantly later. Okay.
Well,
right.
I'd like to make a motion that we call this the Toledo waterfront and boat launch. Just add the word waterfront.
Sure. I second. All we're going to be doing is sending the discussion to city council.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to type something.
I don't, she does.
All in favor?
I'm trying to pass on to her.
All in favor?
Discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, it sounds like it's tied, so it dies.
Okay, we get it.
I was gonna say nay, so I think that it should be brought up to the community what they want. I mean, if they already picked the Toledo boat launch, then I mean, it is their boat launch.
Do you want another, I don't know if that could be possible, but another survey for that? Or just,
Not that important.
It could be added to like our water and sewer bills when they go out. We have a newsletter that's going to be going out. It could be added in there, you know, submit your ideas for.
Mike,
Oh,
you
I'm
should tell them what your reason is for wanting to change it though, because you want to start the waterfront festival again, correct?
Well, possibly, yeah, at some point, yeah.
I mean, I know that's the thought process behind calling it the waterfront, is that that way it would give us more of a park atmosphere to it rather than just the physical location of the boat launch, so that we can do more stuff like that, like we do for the New Year's ball drop. I understand that, and that's why I'm sure, let's throw it to city council. But if we want to put a discussion out in the water bill and see what people think about that, I feel like they should know the context that yeah, we're trying to make this a
More inclusive.
yeah.
It's not just a boat launch, it's other stuff too. Yeah, but yeah, I agree with Mike.
What's the mayor think? Do you think we should change it? We think the city or the community should have a say in it?
The community, they picked the first one, Mike, I think they should be able to pick the second one.
So do I. Thank you.
It's their town, they'll be here a lot longer than we will.
Thank you.
so you want us to send out a flyer or in with the billing?
You're already gonna have something else in the building.
There's a newsletter going out in the billing, so it was just added into the newsletter of, you know, the discussions taking place of updating the name to be inclusive,
Sure.
all inclusive. You know, please send us
Do we
your
need a
thoughts.
motion for that or something?
No, that's just the.
Sure.
I will get that in the
And then we
newsletter.
can bring it back.
I have one other comment on this chapter 3, planning and area inventory. It's on the first page, and it's like the, I guess it's about the 1, 2, 3, 4th paragraph down. There's reference to the using the word currently, but when's currently?
This was done like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Should it maybe say in 2018?
Mm-hmm.
you absolutely can change that to that. Yeah.
Or whatever.
We should mention that it has a mural on it too.
Yeah, because these kind of documents seems kind of nitpicky, but they exist beyond us, you know.
That is why
Somebody
they're,
looks back at it.
that's why you're updating them.
Yeah.
So
Very good, Mike. You get an A+ for it.
Watch it, kid.
So what would you like, you want?
Just whatever the current is, you could say the city in 19 or in 2019, the building was.
he's looking at like the 5th paragraph down, the first line. It says currently the city provides very basic. So like,
Oh, that isn't even the one I was looking at.
On the front
Because in the
page.
fourth paragraph, after it talks about Toledo Tel, it says the city is currently building a water tank and refurbishing the old one. But we have that done.
yeah, this is because this is what was happening back 5-6 years ago.
No,
so,
no, I know. I'm just saying it needs to be updated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I'm. And since you're updating, update the picture of the jail. too.
yes.
Do you want to stand just to the door?
All right, unfinished business. Do we have any more park plan updates? Are we good, Mike?
Yeah, I tried to. I'm sorry. These-
What was your question?
All right,
Hey.
unfinished business, dump station broken pipe.
It's fixed.
It's been fixed. Huzzah. Other business?
I do have other business. Today at 2:47, I received a phone call from Mrs. Cunningham that has rented out the park for this Saturday, June 18th. She just went down there this afternoon and noticed that the lights in the kitchen, there are a couple out, and she said it's quite dark. And then she noticed one of the sinks is all plugged up with dirt. She was wondering if it would be fixed before her reservation on Saturday. I left, again, this was in the afternoon time, I have left a note for Public Works, but I just wanted to bring it to the board, that there was concerns of lights and stuff. So.
Vandalism, what can I say?
It could get fixed today and.
We'll fix it today and people are never broke tomorrow.
Well, still.
We will try.
Well, the lights, the
The
lights are
lights.
maintenance, that's just a maintenance thing of changing the lights out.
Yeah,
But,
but
you
the
know,
sink plugged up is.
yeah, the sink, it's an outdoor kitchen.
That's a daily thing.
But I told her that I would give it, the message to Public Works and try to get them tonight.
Being a person who rents out a building, you always gotta make sure that's in tip-top shape because they're renting it. They're paying money to use the thing. You gotta have it totally functional
Well,
and clean.
right, but if we go back to our coast, if we get one,
Right.
and in there, if I remember right, it says on a day that we're renting the kitchen, they need to clean it by 9 o'clock or something, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So I think that issue of the clogged sink would be taken care of if we had a park host. So as far as the lights, I don't feel that the park host would have to fix that. They would say, hey, Public Works, could you come and put a couple lights in?
And that's in there also, Mike, in that language, if there is something that's broke or something needs attention, and park host cannot. Public Works buys the material to fix things. So if something's broke, we don't know about or didn't catch it, then the park host calls Public Works goes down and fixes it almost immediately if they have time, if they're not on a project or whatever. But,
Did I lose everybody? You all froze. Zoom is not working for me.
We're not
All the
hardwired
way
here.
through that, is the park host responsible for mowing the whole park or?
Yes. Hopefully,
The whole, do they have to furnish?
we furnish lawnmower, the zero turn,
Okay.
and if they need help, our guys would help. But they probably will have to mow, like right now, it's twice a week.
Yeah.
They just mowed it 2 days ago and it's,
But and we furnish water and power
yes,
for that, and
yes,
a spot the key.
yes.
I think that we should provide the host with internet.
Well, it's free Wi-Fi.
It's
but
It's
I
like-
don't know
No,
it's like
how
a
long that is.
it's like a 30-minute and then it's
Yeah,
done.
then you gotta pay for it. That's
Yeah.
what I got.
I think the city should.
we do, however, need a way for the host to be able to get internet access out there, even if we don't offer it for free to them. There has to be a way for an account to be set up out there. Because that is something that
There
most
is,
people are
and
gonna
I
want.
mean, 'cause I believe that Rick had internet out there when he was
Okay.
there.
Okay, good.
But Rick paid for his own.
Yeah. Yeah. The city's never done that.
No, I just thought that would, in today's world.
All right. Public input?
Do you guys have anything?
Well, not at this time, ma'am, no. Not at this time.
It's not public, but when are we thinking of doing a park host? I mean, are we thinking about tomorrow? Are we wanting to do it next month? I mean, to me, right now, the park's open, we're ready to rip, roar, and roll, right? What do we have to do to get a park host in there? Does it have to go to council?
And an interview.
Jill,
Just like Mayor just said, we just got their application today, just right before the meeting started. So it would be something that Public Works and Mayor will be able to go through, and they can set up a meeting with them. They're kind of here to hear a lot of it already. They'll set up a meeting interview, and then the mayor would make recommendation to council at a council meeting. The next one's July 5th is the next meeting, so if we could get, but then we'd also want, hopefully to update that at the same time. So the park host agreement, so.
I didn't see in the park host thing, how many cars are they allowed to have at their campsite?
One.
And that's something that they,
That can be amended. or whatever.
yes, that is something that they would like to,
Because the stumps that we took out, like, we put back into all that dirt, we did rock that area for like a lean-to or off the fifth wheel or whatever they got coming in.
Right.
But also to help with another second car park. Because there's two people that are gonna be parked.
Or, yeah, I was looking like, definitely, yeah.
they've also have a storage shed that they would like to put in, and I have talked to Mike Fisher about it already, and he was all, so they could store their things, their personal things in it. He was, okay, it's not a permanent one, it's, no.
The other big thing that we weren't really quite clear on is the amount of amps that's on the service, because my fifth wheel takes 50 amps.
2 amps.
2 amps, thanks, Mike.
Flintstone.
We take 50 amps to run our, so. I don't know if it's it looks like a 30 amp.
It is.
service to me.
It's not a 50.
Yeah, so that's like a big hurdle.
And that'd have to be a new line put in, new ditch put in and everything. All right.
Unless there's another 50 amp service.
There's a few 50 amp sites down there.
Which we gotta run the wire to.
To that,
the
yeah.
host site where we're gonna put them.
Yeah.
site 6, 9, and 12 are 50 amps.
And they're on the backside, way backside of the park.
Can we wire them all 50?
Don't ask me, ask Carl Boswell, he's one of the lines. He's an electrician.
I'm not an electrician guy. They
He
have
was an
electricity.
electrician.
So what?
That's been like 30 years ago. We built that.
All right, well, that answers a couple questions I had on.
All right, are we good then? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn. I second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Uh,
Thanks, y'all.
Thank
Have a good
you.
month.